You work your absolute hardest for 40 hours every single week, yet somehow your bank balance just refuses to grow. Every single month starts with this quiet, suffocating panic as you stare blankly at the screen. It really feels like a cruel paradox, doesn't it? The harder you work, the further behind you actually feel.
You're constantly left wondering where all your hard earned money actually went. It honestly feels like the world is playing a completely rigged game, and you were just never told the rules. You look down at that paycheck and feel this deep, heavy confusion. The numbers simply don't add up to the life you want, even though you're doing exactly what society told you to do. You're stuck in this relentless, exhausting cycle of earning and losing. It's a truly visceral feeling of being trapped on a financial treadmill. You're running as fast as you possibly can without ever moving an inch forward. This panic is absolutely not just in your head. It's a very real, mathematically designed trap, and you are far from the only one feeling the crush. Think about it. The school system stubbornly spent 12 long years preparing you for life, right? They made absolutely sure you could calculate the exact area of a triangle. You probably spent months analyzing old Shakespearean plays, right? But ironically, nobody ever took 5 minutes to explain how a simple W-2 actually works. We're graduating millions of young students into a complex world of dense lease agreements and tricky tax forms. And society just has this overwhelming expectation that everyone will magically figure it out. We practically treat money like a closely guarded secret reserved only for the elite. See, wealthy children naturally learn about property and investing right at the dinner table. This allows them to move through the adult world with a quiet, incredibly powerful confidence. Meanwhile, everyone else is simply left to guess and just hope for a stroke of luck. While you're busy making random guesses, those invisible systemic costs are rapidly adding up. They can easily turn a small financial mistake at age 17 into a total, life-altering disaster later on. Now, you might be thinking, shouldn't my family have taught me this? But look, we don't ask parents to teach advanced chemistry at home. So we really shouldn't expect them to teach highly complex finance either. You genuinely cannot pass down critical knowledge that you simply do not have. It's time to radically change how we define a complete education. And that brings us perfectly to the 4 core financial principles that you absolutely must master today. Principle 1 is the math of survival. This fundamental mandate demands you understand the movement of your money by clearly distinguishing between top-line revenue and actual profit. So many people see money coming in and mistakenly think they're winning, but top-line revenue is a complete lie if your expenses are ultimately higher. You absolutely must intimately know the exact mathematical difference between those two numbers. By diligently tracking your cash flow and mastering your personal budget, you stop the panic and transition from a helpless victim into a powerful manager of capital who retains the wealth they build. Principle 2 is strategic debt literacy. This critical skill is all about mastering the mechanics of credit, long-term borrowing, and understanding the true cost of interest. High-interest debt can easily follow a targeted person for many, many painful decades. 1. Your precise credit score literally dictates whether you can comfortably run an apartment or what exact interest rate you'll get stuck with on a car loan. 1. Paying only the bare minimum on a credit card is a brutal trap, and those student loans hide dangerous details right there in the fine print. 1. By learning these hidden rules early, you stop blindly building other people's wealth and finally start building yours. Principle 3 is the tax and economy mandate. This is where you comprehend how government tax brackets and massive macroeconomic forces directly dictate your true standard of living. Most working adults genuinely do not understand how basic tax brackets even work, meaning you are likely losing thousands of dollars to sheer financial ignorance every single year. 1. Add in rising inflation, jacking up your grocery bill, and shifting supply and demand dictating the job market, and you realize these aren't just abstract theories for some dusty old classroom. 1. They are the invisible, undeniable forces that literally dictate your daily survival. Principle 4 is the compound interest mandate. This means truly recognizing that time, not just your initial capital, is your absolute most valuable financial asset. Starting a simple long-term investment at age 17 is wildly better than starting at 35. 1. Compound interest efficiently turns tiny weekly savings into a massive, unbreakable safety net, which is exactly how you permanently escape the grueling trap of perpetual labor. 1. You have to learn to make your hard-earned money quietly work for you while you peacefully sleep. The real tragedy of this missing education fully reveals itself by age 40. Did you know the median retirement savings for a 40-year-old is shockingly close to zero?
Most people hit middle age with absolutely nothing practically saved up for their retirement. 1. They just never had someone sit down and clearly explain why they should start early. This is an entirely preventable financial disaster fueled solely by our systemic academic silence, failing right workers who simply needed a basic roadmap. It is finally time to aggressively demand a much better system for absolutely everyone. We have got to collectively stop graduating kids who cannot even read a simple paycheck. 1. Real financial literacy should not be something you just blindly stumble into after making years of painful mistakes. It is an absolutely fundamental human right in our highly complex modern economy. If you're a student right now, boldly go and speak to your school principal. If you're a worried parent, push your local elected school board. We fiercely need these essential, practical classes sitting right there in the daily schedule, permanently required right between third and fourth period. You genuinely deserve to know exactly how the real adult world actually functions. True freedom begins the exact moment you deeply understand the powerful tools of the world.